Hi again, it's Nora of Rock Your Life with Nora Finch, and I promised I was going to be dating these because I don't know that I think YouTube dates them, but anyway, Wednesday, April 5th, 2023. I just finished recording my peer support suggestions, so hopefully you listened to that. If not, go listen to it now. Okay, and also that's I talk about in there about joining my private Facebook group. Okay, so I have some collections of book excerpts. I've read from different book excerpts. I have a playlist on there, and so I'll probably be adding this there. But what I wanted to do, if not, you'll still be able to find it. Okay. I'll make it clear. So I wanted to read a couple of things. I'm just going to do 3 things today you might find interesting because they are lyrics from a group, a hardcore group, hardcore punk rock, but Buddhist, compassionate Buddhist philosophy within them. I've just always loved their lyrics. And basically, they were called The First Step from North Carolina. And I'm sorry, I don't know the year that they started, but it was in the 2000s, early 2000s. And so it's 2023. Yeah, so like over like probably 15 years ago, you could still find some of their stuff online, but they are no longer. So they were called The First Step. The lead singer's name is pronounced, I think it is, his last name is pronounced Saint Germain. So Stephen Saint Germain. Anyway. Okay, so I'm going to read. He has a bunch of different, a whole collection from one of their albums. You can find the videos on, they are listed, I think, under my empowerment motivational collection, but you can also YouTube it. And I think I posted on there Time to Understand and Connection. So I'm going to read Connection and then the other song, Cutting Through. Okay, so this is the way that I talk about how music is one way while they were not around when I was growing up, but it is a way that has helped strengthen me in life to survive and thrive. Okay, it was my form of therapy while I didn't play anything. Listening to this kind of stuff, helped me, just like if you know that I have mentioned Ian MacKaye from Minor Threat being an influence. And then Henry Rollins, his best friend, was also an influence just because of his writing and vulnerability. I didn't get so much into his music, but those 2 friends, they were a part of my life. Okay, so Connection, this is by The First Step. When we open up, we can understand who you are, who I really am. Sharing our hopes, our fears, and our dreams. No barriers, just love and honesty. Connection. We can find connection between you and I. Now we are building up walls and not taking the time, covering up all that we feel inside. No, I won't accept it. Can't you recognize all that we're missing in our lives? Connection. We can find connection between you and I. We can't be islands to ourselves. We must reach out to someone else. No more closed off, self-absorbed, afraid to be. We're not so different, so much the same. Connection creates understanding of how to heal each other's pain. I wonder if you thought I was going to scream it like a punk rock song or some crazy spoken word, because I actually always wanted to do spoken word, but I'm not going to be crazy about it. I'm just going to be normal, animated. Okay, no, I'm not. Okay, so the next song, Cutting Through. We're each true and flawless inside, with barrier built in our minds. The roles we accept and the roles we assign. We can't see the wisdom and honesty that is basic in each human being. We're cutting through. See what's false. See what's true. We're cutting through. We all try to control our reality, but we just won't find immunity. We're cutting through. See what's false. See what's true. We're cutting through. We all have the power and courage to transform our lives. With a little understanding, we can liberate our polluted minds. Okay, yes, I know that was very deep. You're probably very interested in how this music is screaming of these lyrics, but there's actually a lot of hardcore music that is like this, and they do it in their very unique way, and it's freaking kick-ass. So, anyway, I wanted to share that with you. There's way more songs, but basically, music, I would have to say in general, because, I was in it from a different scene, definitely would say out of mainstream culture. And so these types of lyrics, I mean, let's just say it and be direct that American culture doesn't exactly encourage personal growth and things like this. So you're not really going to hear something, or I have never heard in the mainstream lyrics like this. Okay. So this is another reason why I want to expose it and share it with the world, because not only it's a masculine culture sharing of themselves, you can do it in a kick-ass, badass way and feel powerful. Okay. So a lot of music out there, people don't even listen to the lyrics. I understand. I get that. Even people that listen to punk rock music don't even go this deep. A lot of this, like I just said, this is kind of, I know that he comes from some Buddhist philosophies and different like things like that. A couple of the members, if not all the members in the band, which is why I kept this up, because this is so unique, or have kept up with them, because I love this. And he's probably a writer too. So I want to share this with you, that it does build, yes, it can be, builds connection with yourself, but also your tribe. And so this group of people, hardcore, punk rock, all this sort of, like I said, not all of them are into this like this, but there are some of us that are. And this was support for us, okay? That we understand each other, we're here for each other, our relationships are meaningful. Whatever, that means to you, if you have a family or not. When I say family, doesn't have to be blood, maybe it's just your crew as a first responder, but also all of us having some sort of a family type feel, this is going to help a lot of us. Okay, so the first step, those were the two songs, Connection and Cutting Through. I also like Time to Understand, and there's a bunch of other ones. I am going to finish off this solo by reading Mother Teresa's very famous saying. I don't want to call it a quote because it's like 20 lines long, but you may have seen it, may have not. And again, if you haven't listened to me before, I grew up both Christian and Buddhist. However, I related to the Buddhist side more. And I also, though, had a lot of negativity surrounding Christianity. So I just kind of had a lot of negativity around it. So as I grew and evolved and found my own ways inside myself to be, connect and become more spiritual and come back to the light after becoming, I guess, being so dark as a teenager, and, my hatred for the world. Of course, this hardcore and punk rock music made me feel strong, but it also made me feel angry about, what's going on in the world, relationships, people not caring about each other, not being of love, all of those sorts of things that carried, into adulthood. And I still struggle with this stuff, even everything that I've learned and grown and expanded and become extroverted and understanding people, everything that I've learned. Okay. And to become a coach and be able to see that other side and understand what it is like to feel angry, and, all those things that really just strengthen and, empower. They have empowered me to keep going. So it wasn't a bad thing, you know? So Mother Teresa, I'm going to read it and let you soak it up. Okay. And this is something I actually have on my fridge. I have to read it almost, constantly. Constantly, I am having to remind myself that. And one of my biggest lessons in life is that because I would say, people pleaser and wanting some sort of acceptance from the outside world, and then only just realizing over the last couple of years that you can do good, be of love, and all of that, and still people will hate on you. And that has, maybe I shouldn't look at it as being disappointing, but I do. So maybe I need to change that and look at it in a different way. It's a learning process of life. Okay. People are often unreasonable and self-centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some false friends and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. What you spend years building, someone can destroy overnight. Build anyway. If you are honest, people may cheat you. Be honest anyway. If you find happiness, people may be jealous. Be happy anyway. The good you do today may be forgotten tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give your best anyway. For you see, in the end, it is between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. Okay, so print this out, listen to this, whatever resonates with you. My comments in regards, though, in reading this, I always have an opinion or adding to these sorts of things that have been given to us by those generations before us, is that I don't know that I would say, where she says, some true enemies, right? If you're successful, you will win some false friends and some true enemies. I don't know that I would use the word or have ever liked to use the word enemy. It just sounds very negative, and I have compassion for others. So I have not decided exactly what I would use instead of that, but I don't love that word that I've heard in a lot of, especially warrior, the warrior mindset. You will hear about that. Even in the Bushido, I can never say that right, Bushido code, ways of the samurai, they like to use that a lot. Okay. And again, it means different things to, everyone. If you're just using it as an opposing force, maybe that's not really like negative. Anyway. Okay. I also want to talk about happiness, and that I don't want to believe that people will be jealous, especially that when it comes to love, but that is truth out there, okay? And so subconsciously, whether somebody does something or says something, but reminding us all to just be happy anyway, even when you feel that from others, like, hey, I'm talking about something good, I'm doing something good, I'm being of love, I feel loved. Like, why am I being hated on? It's very confusing. And then lastly, because I could go on and on and on analyzing, this is funny, I'm analyzing Mother Teresa, who's so respected. For you see, in the end, it is between you and God. Okay, so I'm going to reference this use of word God again, because if that does not resonate with you, replace it with something else. And I learned to replace it initially with the divine or oneness. Okay, so whatever you want to do, if you believe even that God is inside, I believe that we are all of God inside of us. And so if that does not resonate with you, with one particular higher being, above us, in control and everything, from that perspective, right, that doesn't resonate with you, I'd like you to find another way. Okay, so I'm fine with it either way, using the word God. But initially, and I've brought up again, the Ernest Holmes books really helped me just learn to relax and embrace using that word. Okay? So, and the last line is very impactful, that if anything is what I implant into my daily thoughts, it was never between you and them anyway. I think that's one of the most powerful, profound pieces of advice, since I have realized on my journey how much focus I have put into not only relationships, but people in general. And that goes into another discussion on outside, the outside of us. Culturally, I really believe and know it to be true for myself that culturally, these external things like people, we put a lot of expectations, value, different things on what they think of us, how they view us, how just everything is the how, them making us, we feel like they make us feel happy or we need them to feel happy. When happiness, I will say again, is not a destination. It is fleeting and it has to be maintained if you want to keep it. So I look at it like that, okay? Material possessions. So relationships, people, I'm going to say people, right? People, material possessions, our careers, all these sorts of things externally that maybe we feel like we need in order to be happy. When I have these things, oh, well, now I'm going to be happy, which is false, because to me, not only they will provide temporary happiness, is that something could happen the next day, you hear some sort of bad news or death, or you go to a bad call. Okay, now your happiness is tainted. Okay, so finding ways to connect with yourself. This is why I come back to these sorts of things I have to read or listen to or write to maintain my happiness. Otherwise, I will be focusing on those exterior sorts of things and maybe not having them, not having them at all, not having that, whatever the friendship is or the relationship, right? Or my Facebook group or friends or whatever it is. And at the end of the day, I have to deal with myself. Okay, sometimes that is for another solo that I wanted to do, is that it's very hard to explain in words. Actually, I'm just going to say it right now and start it. Another one is that driven by my cause, I ask myself, is it a blessing or a curse? Yes, it is a blessing, but I just have to say it like that because it's very hard to explain in words the feelings and the things that I go through when my passion and my purpose and my cause and everything. I have multiple purposes, I believe there is. But my cause and my passion for what I'm doing has been going on since the age of 14, and different layers and different levels and all these sorts of things. At the same time, feeling lonely in my thoughts a lot of the times, like I said, dealing with myself and feeling almost obsessively pushed by, my mission. And everything that I know how to do, including meditating, helps me temporarily, but then I'm just back at it. So I feel like I go through waves and stages of overwhelm, and I really can't explain that very well to anybody else who could be like, you don't really have a stressful life, like you have a good life, a happy life, surrounded by love. But, sometimes I don't always feel like that, which is why I can say there is a difference between knowing you are loved and feeling you are loved. Okay, so I feel like this is the price I am paying to feel like this at times, because I deal with it constantly. It just goes through waves. I feel like it is a possession and obsession for the rest of my life that I am going to be sharing of myself and the things that I've learned. And I hope that it helps some of you. Okay, I know this was longer than I expected, but than I planned on, but I was just decided I'm going to go ahead and share that part here, is that because actually I'm okay with ending this with this solo with this, because these are the things that I have to do in order to maintain my sanity through my mission work. Okay, so maybe it helps you. So reading, writing, listening to music, using creative arts, talking to people, and then all the other therapies that I've mentioned before, that it's not one thing you do, it's multiple things. Okay, and not all of it has to involve talking. Okay, so I hope this provided some value to you. And like I said, just having this sit on your phone isn't enough. So maybe you need to, may not be enough, I guess I should say, posting it on your mirror, putting it wherever, somewhere that you can see every day, your sacred space. Okay, so you can put it in your subconscious and believe that these things there are sources to help you survive and thrive in life. And you can build your own tribe and do it through even people you don't even know, like I have done, like I said, through this music. So that is all. Go listen to my shows if you want to. I never thought that I would meet Ian, well, over the phone podcast show, and Henry in person, which I did last year. So those were very beautiful, emotional things to me. And yeah, I'd never met them before. So yeah, you never know who can impact your life. Never even met in person before, and they provide support to you. So we all know that there's social media now. So again, have a good day, and I hope this provided some value to your life. Bye.